Ladies and gentlemen, our launching ceremony of the Youth for Climate Policy Working Group reports will be started in some few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ha and my friend MC. With the key event on the night of tomorrow, and also to celebrate the youth month every year. So in this launching ceremony day today, we will introduce the we will launch the two reports of the just energy transitions and the educational training for climate change, and we will also highlight the participation of the youth in emission reduction. And we will have in 2 hours within today's workshop, so that we have the two activities, main two activities. The opening part will be the opening remarks, and the second one will be the key sharing on the two reports. And the last part will be some Q&As for all the people here. And please pay attention to this part, because we will have the question and answer for the two reports on the just energy transitions and on the environmental and climate change education. And then we will have also the second activities, which will be very interactive for the people. And then we will watch the ceremony for the Youth for Climate Policy Working Group. And coming to this workshop today, we would like to introduce Ms. Ramla Khalidi, the resident representative at UNDP Vietnam. Mr. Jonathan Wallace Baker, the UNESCO representative in Vietnam. We have also Mr. Marco Abiti, the representative of the Italian embassy in Vietnam. And very important, we have your present representative from the Monterey, from different NGO, international organization in Vietnam, private sector, and also our members of the Youth for Climate network in Vietnam, the expert, and also the youth from different provinces in Vietnam to participate in the launching ceremony today. And now we would like to welcome Ms. Ramla Khalidi, resident representative of UNDP Vietnam, to have some opening remarks. Kính thưa các quý vị đại biểu và các bạn thanh niên thân mến, các đối tác từ Bộ Tài nguyên Môi trường, các đối tác từ các tổ chức về liên quan đến nghiên cứu Vâng, xin kính thưa giáo sư Marco, chính thưa đồng nghiệp, vâng anh Jonathan, kính thưa tất cả.
Passionate about climate, you're passionate about the environment. It's very good to join you this afternoon. We're here to launch 2 reports: Youth in Just Energy Transition and Youth in Climate Change Education. And these are the products of the hard work of the Youth for Climate Policy Working Group. And this is the 3rd year that we have partnered together with DCC in Monterey and UNDP in order to collaborate and advance a Youth for Climate roadmap 2021 to 2025 and support the implementation of Vietnam's NDC. The reports really are a testament to the dedication and hard work of the members of this policy working group, and I really thank you for all of the hard work that you put into producing these 2 reports. 3 days ago, the World Meteorological Organization confirmed what we already knew. 2023 was the hottest year on record, with global average temperatures of 1.45 Celsius above pre-industrial levels. All of the key climate indicators, whether it's ocean heat or sea level rise or Antarctic sea ice loss or glacial retreat, all of them broke records in 2023, not for the first time. Again, those records have been broken. So these are not just about statistics and academic data, because we all know that Vietnam is on the receiving end of vulnerable nations that are being impacted by these challenges. And so this becomes personal. We've seen what the devastating impacts are of extreme weather, and we understand that we need to do more, and we need to take urgent action to mitigate climate chaos. And it was precisely because of this understanding that UNDP and DCC have agreed to set up the Youth for Climate Initiative in 2020. We recognize the centrality of youth engagement in the fight against climate change. You all know that at COP26, the government of Vietnam took the bold step of raising its climate ambition to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. And a year later, Vietnam agreed with the international partners on a partnership to support just energy transition, a transition that could match the national climate ambition and the scale of the climate crisis. One important element of the JETP is that of participation and social dialogue, and making sure that the concerns and the ideas of youth are considered is a part of that commitment. As our Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has said, climate action must be both fair and it must be just, and it must ensure that no one, especially young people, is left behind. And that's why supporting youth groups like the Youth for Climate Policy Working Group to be well informed and to be equipped with the needed green skills is important to make sure that their engagement at the policy level is both meaningful and impactful. Colleagues and friends, allow me to highlight a few key takeaways from the report. First, the Youth in Just Energy Transition reports highlights the vital role of youth as advocates, educators, innovators, and leaders in sustainable energy practices in Vietnam. It reveals that while youth engagement in energy transition exists, it remains underrepresented in policies and investment projects. Despite this, Vietnamese youth demonstrate readiness to engage. Their unique perspectives and digital literacy can enable significant contributions to grassroots movements, policy advocacy, and embracing renewable energy technologies. And while youth have expressed confidence in contributing soft skills to energy transition projects, the report also highlights a large capacity gap among youth when it comes to more technical, sustainable energy knowledge and green skills for future careers. Second, the Youth in Climate Change Education report suggests that youth have high demands for climate change learning through experiential forms and extracurricular activities such as learning through real-life situations and community projects. As expected, students living in rural areas have less access to climate change education compared to their fellow students in urban areas. But they demonstrate potential in taking local action to address environmental issues. However, students continue to face difficulties in obtaining permits and implementing extracurricular activities in the community, hindering the transition from theoretical knowledge to practical action. The good news is that since 2018, the new education program has done a good job to integrate climate change content into the curriculum. The two new subjects, experiential activities, career orientation, and local educational content, have the potential to effectively introduce climate change content and skills needed for students. And not surprisingly, digitization plays a pivotal role in youth learning on climate change. However, youth have expressed a desire to access more online, formal, and reliable information. That's why removing barriers to learning, including language barriers, will be the next hurdle. The Youth for Climate Learning Hub that UNDP and DCC launched in 2022 was cited among the key sources of learning, and that should be further disseminated, updated, and formalized into the formal education curriculum. Dear youth participants, I would like to express my warm thanks to all of the youth authors and representatives who've contributed to the two reports. As Vietnam moves towards a low-carbon future, the message from you is resoundingly clear. We should not only recognize but also actively invest in the ability of younger generations to play a meaningful part in the energy transition. UNDP stands ready to be a bridge for Vietnam's youth to access and channel their knowledge and dynamism into Vietnam's implementation of the Just Energy Transition Partnership. I call on Vietnam's youth to lend us their voices, their ideas, and their advocacy to co-create solutions with policymakers and industry leaders. Your contributions are critical to ensure the successful development and implementation of a just framework for energy transition. Dear guests, all countries, including Vietnam, are starting to update the 2025 NDC, or NDCs 3.0. Despite all of the differences, the Paris Agreement continues to be and show the way that the world can unite and rise to the challenge of the climate emergency, allowing us to get back to an emissions trajectory well below the 2 degrees, and communities can build up adequate resilience to climate change. I hope that in 2024, Vietnam will be able to advance its firm commitments even further to get nationally determined contributions in line with the 1.5-degree limit. I hope to see Vietnam progressing with viable measures to phase out fossil fuels and mobilize robust investments in renewable energy. And I hope to see Vietnam play a leading role that ensures climate justice is accelerated for youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ranga, for your valuable opening speech. Please stay here at the stage because we are so honored today to have the representatives from the government agencies, organizations, and everyone. So I would like to invite everyone here to have a group to keep the memories of this launching ceremony. So please come here to the stage, everyone.
Nhân sự kiện đặc biệt này, ban tổ chức xin kính mời các quý vị cùng lên sân khấu chụp ảnh kỷ niệm ạ. Mời các bạn thanh niên và các quý vị đại biểu lên chụp ảnh cùng ban tổ chức và các đại diện ạ.
Mọi người cứ lên đi ạ, nó sẽ hơi khó để chụp được hết tất cả nên là mình sẽ quay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that it would be hard to capture everybody in the group photo, so I think we will also use a video function so that everyone will be there. Vâng, xin mời quý vị và các bạn chúng ta đứng thật là sát lại gần nhau để chúng ta có thể tập trung vào trong bức ảnh. Dương. Vâng, xin mời chị Dương chúng ta giúp đỡ nhau cùng đứng sát lại gần để mọi người đều có thể tham gia vào bức ảnh này ạ. Yeah, can you stand a little bit lower? One, two, three. 3, 2, 1. Vâng, chúng ta hãy cùng nói Youth for Climate. Xin cảm ơn tất cả các quý vị và các bạn. Xin mời các quý vị và các bạn chúng ta quay trở lại và ổn định chỗ ngồi. Ladies and gentlemen, to continue the agenda today, please come back to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, together with Monterey, we already initiate the Youth for Climate initiative from 2020. This initiative already enhance the capacity of the youth and contribute further for the NDC of Vietnam. So this initiative very meaningful for Vietnamese youth and also to contribute to the concrete action of the youth so that we can contribute to the net zero target. In order to understand more about this journey, we invite you to watch the video clip over there.
Vào tháng 12 năm 2020, lộ trình hành động vì khí hậu đầu tiên dành cho thanh niên Việt Nam đã được phát triển bởi những bạn trẻ đến từ mọi miền đất nước. Mạng lưới thanh niên hành động vì khí hậu Ypwg'S Việt Nam đã được thành lập bởi sự điều phối của chị Trần Thị Hồng Hiền, đại diện từ miền Bắc, anh Nguyễn Tấn Tài, đại diện từ miền Trung và anh Trương Nguyễn Luân, đại diện từ miền Nam. Mock COP26 là bước đầu tiên trong hành trình nâng cao tiếng nói của thanh niên, thế hệ xanh của Việt Nam. Chương trình đó không thể thiếu được sự đồng hành của các đại biểu trong việc tham gia trực tiếp vào những cuộc tranh luận, cũng như các ý kiến được đóng góp cho những câu hỏi mờ về biến đổi khí hậu. Ypwg'S Program là một chương trình tình nguyện giúp giới trẻ xây dựng và nâng cao nhận thức về mục tiêu phát triển bền vững của Liên Hợp Quốc, phát triển tư duy khởi nghiệp và các kỹ năng cần thiết trong thế kỷ 21 thông qua các chương trình đào tạo cấp cơ sở tại khu vực. Y for CI Contest, cuộc thi thanh niên sáng tạo vì khí hậu do UNDPVietNam tổ chức, phối hợp với Trung ương Đoàn Thanh niên Cộng sản Hồ Chí Minh, đã nhận được rất nhiều ý tưởng sáng tạo của các bạn trong ứng phó với biến đổi khí hậu. Ngày 10 tháng 9 năm 2021, Hội đồng Anh tại Việt Nam đã tổ chức sự kiện ra mắt bản tuyên bố đổi khí hậu của Liên Hợp Quốc lần thứ 26, COP26, chuẩn bị diễn ra tại Anh vào cuối tháng 11 năm 2021. Đây là một phần trong chuỗi đối thoại thanh niên trực tuyến với sự tham gia của các nhà hoạch định chính sách, nhà giáo dục, nhà khoa học, doanh nghiệp và các tổ chức quốc tế về hành động khí hậu diễn ra vào tháng 9 năm 2021. UNDP đã thành lập Youth for Climate Learning Hub, cổng thông tin về biến đổi khí hậu cho thanh niên Việt Nam. Tại đây, UNDP sẽ cung cấp và cập nhật thông tin chính xác và đáng tin cậy nhất để những bạn trẻ có thể tiếp cận và tìm hiểu kiến thức liên quan đến khí hậu. Kênh truyền thông về thanh niên và biến đổi khí hậu ở Việt Nam cũng đã được thành lập và đi vào hoạt động với sự tham gia của cộng đồng thanh niên Việt Nam. Hoàng Ngọc Xuân Mai, trưởng nhóm viết báo cáo đặc biệt 2020, đã trình bày những phát hiện quan trọng của báo cáo về sự hành động vì khí hậu của thanh niên Việt Nam tại sự kiện Pre-COP26 Youth for Climate Driving Ambitions diễn ra ở thành phố Milan vào tháng 9 năm 2021. Chương trình Tiếp lửa về khí hậu được hỗ trợ bởi Quỹ sáng kiến thanh niên vì các mục tiêu phát triển bền vững 2021. Quỹ được CSDS điều phối cùng với sự hỗ trợ tài chính từ cơ quan viện trợ Ireland tại Việt Nam. Sự kiện tham vấn thanh niên Việt Nam hướng tới Stockholm Cộng 50 với tư cách là người hỗ trợ chuyển đổi năng lượng xanh và công bằng được xây dựng vào tháng 4 năm 2022. Nhóm thanh niên thúc đẩy chuyển dịch năng lượng Youth Energy TOT là một chương trình hỗ trợ thanh thiếu niên để thúc đẩy quá trình chuyển đổi năng lượng với sự tham gia của 10 thanh niên trên toàn quốc dưới sự điều phối của nhóm điều phối thanh niên UNDP, Green ID và USTH. Chương trình Tiếp lửa vì khí hậu mùa 2 đã chính thức trở lại với chủ đề Net Zero. Chuỗi tập huấn này được tổ chức để hướng tới những bạn trẻ làm việc trong các dự án, tổ chức về môi trường và biến đổi khí hậu. Qua đó, giúp họ cải thiện kiến thức và kỹ năng tham gia vào các hoạt động hoạch định chính sách, thích ứng và giảm thiểu tác động của biến đổi khí hậu. Tiếng nói thanh niên Ypwg'S là chương trình được tổ chức bởi Ynet Việt Nam, được tài trợ bởi Change Việt Nam. Chương trình được đồng tổ chức bởi các tổ chức thành viên thuộc mạng lưới là GUC và GCC. Vào tháng 8 năm 2022, UNDP Việt Nam và Cục Biến đổi Khí hậu đã tổ chức chạy viết Thanh niên Việt Nam hành động vì khí hậu 2022 với sự tham gia của những bạn trẻ trên khắp cả nước. Chạy viết được tổ chức trong bối cảnh các quốc gia đang chuẩn bị tiến tới hội nghị thượng đỉnh về biến đổi khí hậu của Liên Hợp Quốc lần thứ 27.
So together with the existing network and program initiative, the Ypwg'S supported by UNDP Vietnam to enhance capacity of the youth who are interested in climate, and this is to focus on the roles of youth in the just energy transition. So the authors of this Ypwg'S enlarged their activities to also recruit more 50 members from all over the country. So they work on the study and review.
Công nghệ thông tin. Các thành viên chính thức của nhóm đã được tham gia tập huấn nâng cao năng lực về các chủ đề: chính sách về biến đổi khí hậu và năng lượng, chính sách giáo dục và biến đổi khí hậu, kỹ năng nghiên cứu chính sách. Với sự hỗ trợ của các chuyên gia đến từ UNDP, Live and Learn. Nhóm công tác thanh niên về chính sách khí hậu Ypwg'S cũng đã tổ chức chuỗi sự kiện nhằm kết nối thanh niên Việt Nam với những kiến thức thiết yếu về biến đổi khí hậu. Các sự kiện thu hút hơn 200 bạn trẻ đăng ký và tham gia. Chuỗi hội nghị bàn tròn đã nâng cao nhận thức của giới trẻ về giao thông xanh, năng lượng xanh, kỹ năng xanh và việc làm xanh trong bối cảnh chuyển dịch năng lượng. Nhóm công tác thanh niên về chính sách khí hậu đã tổ chức khóa tập huấn nâng cao về chuyển dịch năng lượng cho thanh niên Việt Nam với sự hỗ trợ của UNDP Việt Nam, Đại sứ quán Ý tại Việt Nam và Cơ quan Năng lượng Tái tạo Quốc tế IRENA. Bên cạnh đó, hội thảo Climate Fresh đã giới thiệu cho nhiều bạn trẻ về khoa học khí hậu cơ bản thông qua trò chơi vui nhộn dành cho mọi đối tượng. Nhóm cũng đã tổ chức buổi đối thoại giữa thanh niên và các nhà lãnh đạo khí hậu về chuyển dịch năng lượng công bằng và giáo dục về biến đổi khí hậu ở Việt Nam. Với sự tham gia của Đại sứ quán Anh tại Việt Nam và Cục Biến đổi Khí hậu, Bộ Tài nguyên và Môi trường trước thềm hội nghị COP28. Ypwg'S và UNDPVietNam đồng tổ chức Hội nghị Thanh niên Việt Nam Ypwg'S nhằm thảo luận các kiến nghị của giới trẻ trước thềm COP28 hướng tới giải quyết rào cản liên quan tới thiếu các thông tin, cập nhật về giáo dục biến đổi khí hậu, quá trình chuyển dịch năng lượng một cách gần gũi và dễ tiếp cận với thanh niên Việt Nam. Energy 101 là chuỗi sự kiện bao gồm các buổi tập huấn và cung cấp kiến thức qua các kênh truyền thông nhằm giúp thanh niên Việt Nam hiểu được mối liên hệ giữa biến đổi khí hậu với năng lượng bền vững, được tổ chức bởi UNDPVietNam. Xuyên suốt các sự kiện và hoạt động đó, trang Facebook Việt Nam Youth for Climate đã nhận được gần 40.000 lượt truy cập, 130.000 lượt tiếp cận bài viết và tăng thêm 1.100 lượt thích và theo dõi mới trong năm 2023. Hãy tham gia cùng chúng mình và đóng góp vào một tương lai bền vững cho các thế hệ mai sau. Hãy cùng chúng mình tạo nên sự khác biệt.
So the video clip already helped you to understand more what we have been done from Vietnam Youth for Climate. And we already together working on further research and explore, especially for just energy transition and also the climate education. We now would like to invite Mr. Đào Mạnh Trí, the main authors of the report on just energy transition, to share about the key findings and about the recommendation. So after the presentation will be some game, and this game will have some rewards. So please pay attention to the presentation so that you can be the winners of the prize. So please, Mr. Đào Mạnh Trí and also the team of just energy transition. Thank you, the two MC, for your introduction. First of all, I would like to say hello to UNDPVietNam, DCC, the Vietnam Youth Union, and also the team members of the report. I would like to introduce Đào Mạnh Trí, the main authors of the Ypwg'S report on just energy transition. Before sharing the key report, I would like to talk about the Ho Chi Minh City saying. So he said, a year start with spring and a life start with you. So I like this very much because it highlights the the role of youth, and it shows also the transitions and the connection between different transitions. And this is also the motivation of me myself to coordinate a group of so many talented members of the group. I see my the process of development and of the growth of our team member and the change during the journey. So today I'm very happy to share our perspective of the youth of Vietnam in the just energy transition of Vietnam. So we start with the first of context. So you may know about just transition in Vietnam from so many different channels, because this is so important and necessary in order to achieve net zero target by 2050 of Vietnam. So by 2022, we already participate in JP with a very clear target for emission reduction, especially in energy sector. And one of the objectives is to ensure the just target. So following the ILO definition, we have so it will be the process of the community of the just transition mean the greening of the economy in a way that's fair and inclusive as possible to everyone concerned, creating decent job opportunities and leaving no one behind. In order to understand this better, we already started with the literature review, and we see that youth is one of the most vulnerable group to climate change. But they are not only the victims which should receive help, but they are also potential to generate impact, especially policy impact. However, there's still a lot of barriers for them, including also lack of interactive, lack of support from the authorities. So apart from the issues of the awareness, so in general, there's not yet have any activities to learn about their role and their responsibilities and their potential in the just transition process in Vietnam. So we already do some review about the role of the youth in the just energy transition for using the SWOT analysis, and based on that we use multiple analysis, multiple stakeholder analysis with also the interviews and questionnaire. So first one, we have some objective to explore the perspective of youth in energy transition, to uncover the demand for skill and capacity building, and also point out the barrier engaging in the energy transition. So we do this in Ho Chi Minh City and Ninh Thuận for the two main type of energies, the wind power and the solar power. So we interview with some youth from the different programs and projects on energies, renewable energies, and we also interview 3 specialists of energy policy, and we focus on the three pillar. From that we will make question for the youth. Based on that, we will understand better their point of view and perspective. So first, key findings. So first of all, we find out that the general youth pay attention to and want to contribute to energy transition. And they have some initiative, especially for community communication and promotion of the renewable energy. So mainly, they understand mainly for this is from the feeling of the perspective about their own responsibilities, and this show clearly from the answers in the question, and this show a very clear gaps, because if we want to engage them sustainably in the just transition, energy transition, they have to understand fully about the potential of the energy transition, because this can be highly potential in terms of job and opportunities for them. So they need to have capacity and knowledge. So through the interview and survey, we see that the youth in general still lack of in-depth knowledge and capacity. Therefore, we need to have them to provide more training through different programs and intervention of both the government and international organization. So the youth also understand generally about the benefit of the renewable energy, and they understand mostly about this. And I find out that the people who participate in some programs and projects about renewable energies have more correct answer than the one who do not. So now we talk about the solar energy on the roof. So in general, the youth go for this, even though they are not the decision maker. However, they can impact other decision maker. For example, they can persuade their family to install the infrastructure for solar energy, for solar power in the roof. So there's some hello? Can you speak closer to the microphone? So there's a lot of people participate in this. However, there's few people find it's difficult to have the access to information. So people do not feel negative about the cultural perspective about the transition to the solar energies. So I would like to share also some perspective of the youth related to the wind power in Ninh Thuận. So first of all, the social channel are the most effective information not channel, but the direct meetings and also some events, especially from the local authorities, is also very useful to provide formal information, official information. So some of the local youth, they do not have, or they are not sure about the impacts on the wind power on the social and cultural value of their communities. So maybe it can show that maybe they do not have any idea about this. So maybe during the implementation we have to engage them more. And they also have some different barrier for the wind power to sharing about the knowledge and perspective about wind power. And some of them have doubts about the effectiveness of the wind power project in Ninh Thuận province. So if you want to be directly involved, so how? We find out they are ready to use or to contribute the soft skills, for example, for group working, for problem solving, to contribute to the activities, but they are not very confident to contribute for example, for technical capacity or physical capacity. But we know that for renewable energies, one of the things we still lack is the physical capacity, especially also the technical capacity to operate the solar panel. So the youth pay attention to wind power and renewable energies in general, but they do not share this with their family member. So based on that, we will provide some proposal to promote their engagement. The first one, we believe in the multiple stakeholder benefit. We therefore propose to have more strengthen cooperation between the youth, between the government agencies and different institutions for academy and university. So we hope that Vietnam will change our objective of different in educational program, so that we can engage more youth in the environmental and climate education, not only in terms of financial contribution, but also related to the change or the revisions of the training curriculum. So, for example, the government can have more sustainable labor force. The private sector can have more labor for which is suitable to their need, and also the university can have also good training program which is more attractive to the student. Second one, we emphasize the dissemination of knowledge. We emphasize this should be the two-way communication and process. The stakeholders should make use of the social channel like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram can be the channel to start discussion and can share the information and can start also some educational program. And different agencies, government agencies, academia can also provide information through this channel, and this can be also a safer place for the youth to share their idea and contribution. The third one, we study and we explore the participation of the youth. So we should study more about the participation of the youth in the just transition. We should understand the challenges of the youth in this process, and we encourage different stakeholders to explore and share more models about the about the youth-led climate and new renewable energy by the youth, so that we can promote the innovative spirit of the youth, which is one of their strengths, to drive the change in the just energy transition. The fourth one, we talk about the establishment of some consultation process and mechanism for the youth. So the establishment of some youth consultation group will be make it possible for them to participate right at the beginning of the design of any process, not only at the last stage. And this should be we should provide more opportunities for the young researcher, especially in the JP, to ensure that this should be participate and should also enhance their contribution to the JP. We will also empower the new generation of the young leaders in the trust transition. So we have now to report the summary report of the youth perspective in Vietnam's just energy transition. I think this is just for fun, but I hope that will be the very first activities for our further participation, and this is also one of the examples for other youth group to be more proactive and more confident to pursue more projects and more studies like this. So hopefully in the coming time we will receive more support from different agencies, different donors, so that we can have more perspective of the youth in the sustainable development of Vietnam. Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you very much for your presentation. I think this is a very useful information for everyone today. Thank you very much, Mr. Đào Mạnh Trí, and also the team for Just Energy Transition, for your very interesting report. And now, in order to understand more about the recommendations and findings, we will invite you to participate, to have some questions for the key authors and the team. So he will provide the response to such questions and queries about the report. So now we would like to invite the people, the team members of the Just Energy Transition to answer the question and also to have some interactive discussion with all the participants here and online. So people who are watching this through live stream or through different online channels, so you can put your question in the chat box, and so we will we'll try to answer those questions. So Mr. Huang, and our team member, where are you? Please join us here. So I'm Hiền. I'm the UNDP officer. I'm responsible for climate activities, and in order to support the young people participate here and online, we would like to invite also some agencies who are working on the Just Energy Transition. So I would like to invite Mr. Trần Trung from the DCC, and please join the panel, so that maybe there will be some question also for the department, and maybe related to the issues related to education on just energy transition and climate. We would like to invite Mr. Jonathan from UNESCO to be to join the panel. And also here we have some also representative of the associations of the Germany. So I think they participate a lot in climate change activities. So Mr. Alex, please join the panel, and then. So in order to start this discussion, we think we should invite all the audience. If you have any general questions or comments or any response to a question for my presentation, I would like to invite now the audience for this. So any of you have question for us? So a lady. Okay, Mr. Xin chào, tôi là Hồng Anh. Hiện tại thì tôi đang tập trung vào một số các cái hoạt động về đầu tư kinh tế. Vâng, xin lỗi một chút. Tôi đánh giá rất cao về những cái nội dung mà các anh chị đang triển khai. Tôi có một câu hỏi liên quan đến UNDP và cái nhóm công tác về biến đổi khí hậu, chính sách biến đổi khí hậu này. Chúng ta đang nói đến vấn đề là chúng ta không có những cái mục tiêu đảm bảo không ai bị bỏ lại phía sau. Như vậy là chúng ta cũng sẽ phải tập trung vào một cái tiến trình nó công bằng và nó bao trùm toàn bộ các cái nhóm đối tượng. Vâng, và như vậy thì liệu có cái cơ hội nào công bằng cho tất cả mọi người cùng tham gia không để đảm bảo được cái tính công bằng này? Vậy thực ra thì tính công bằng và tính bình đẳng là nó khác nhau, bởi vì nó sẽ bao gồm, nó sẽ căn cứ vào cái bối cảnh, cái nền tảng của những cái nhóm đối tượng khác nhau. Vậy thì khi mà chúng ta có cái hỗ trợ như thế nào đó để chúng ta đảm bảo được các cái mục tiêu công bằng này không? Bởi vì công bằng nó khác với bình đẳng. Để nếu mà chúng ta muốn đảm bảo cả những cái mục tiêu này thì chúng ta có những cái cân nhắc như thế nào? Vâng, xin mời anh trả lời câu hỏi này ạ. Vâng, xin cảm ơn cái câu hỏi của anh. Thực tế mà anh đề cập đến liên quan đến việc sự khác biệt giữa công bằng và bình đẳng rất là quan trọng. Một trong những cái chúng tôi đã thực hiện ở Đại học San Francisco đợt trước là chúng ta luôn luôn có cái vấn đề liên quan đến việc là chúng ta nên ưu tiên công bằng hay ưu tiên bình đẳng hơn trong các cái chính sách về giám sát, phân bổ các cái ưu tiên về xã hội. Vâng, chúng ta biết rằng có những cái cái khu vực mà là có những cái khu vực có cái nhóm dân cư nghèo hơn, hoặc là những cái nhóm dân cư giàu hơn, hoặc là có những nhóm dân cư dễ bị tổn thương hơn, thì chúng ta sẽ tập trung vào cái mục tiêu công bằng. Và khi mà chúng ta tập trung vào để đạt được những cái việc mà đạt được những cái mục tiêu công bằng này và những cái mục tiêu mà chúng ta muốn đạt được, sẽ không có bất kỳ một cái loại hình phân bổ nguồn lực nào là hoàn toàn tuyệt đối công bằng hoặc là phù hợp nhất. Tuy nhiên thì chúng ta hiểu rằng là chúng ta luôn luôn cần phải đảm bảo là có một cái sự hài hòa và cân đối nào đó để chúng ta đạt được mục tiêu đồng thời của cả công bằng và bình đẳng. Và chúng ta thấy rằng là chúng ta cũng sẽ phải đánh giá một loạt những cái yếu tố của cái vấn đề về bình đẳng để chúng ta có thể đạt được những cái mục tiêu, ví dụ như là phát triển bền vững mà Liên Hợp Quốc đã đặt ra. Và chúng ta cũng đã đặt ra rất nhiều những cái tiếp cận đến ví dụ như điện chẳng hạn, hoặc là chuyển đổi năng lượng công bằng. Thì nó có những cái mục tiêu khác nhau và họ cũng sẽ đặt ra những cái tiêu chí cụ thể để chúng ta có thể đo lường chính xác, đánh giá chính xác xem là nó đã đạt được cái mức độ công bằng đến mức độ nào. Và ở cái cấp độ chi tiết hơn, cấp độ vi mô hơn thì chúng ta tất nhiên là vẫn sẽ tiếp tục tiến hành các cái nghiên cứu, như là những cái nghiên cứu mà chúng tôi đã tiến hành ở trường Đại học San Francisco vừa rồi. Và chúng ta có thấy rằng là thông qua những cái tiến trình như vậy thì chúng ta sẽ thấy là các cái mục tiêu, đặc biệt là những cái mục tiêu phát triển bền vững sẽ là những cái kim chỉ nam để chúng ta đặt ra được cái định hướng của chúng ta, để chúng ta có thể định hình xem chúng ta nên trả lời cái câu hỏi của mình hoặc cân đối cái mức độ công bằng bình đẳng như thế nào cho nó phù hợp. Vâng, và chúng tôi cũng muốn xin mời thêm các cái thành viên cũng như là các cái đại biểu khác. Câu hỏi tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ có liên quan đến việc là bởi vì chúng ta đã nhìn thấy bài trình bày cũng như là các cái phát hiện và các cái khuyến nghị của nhóm, thì chúng tôi cũng muốn hỏi anh Trần Đỗ Bảo Trung từ Cục Biến đổi khí hậu cũng như là chị Alexandria từ cái thì đâu là các cái quan điểm của các anh chị hay là cái ý kiến của các anh chị liên quan đến việc hỗ trợ
all of these recommendations that they proposed in the reports. So I think we should start with Mr. Chung first. Anh có thể trả lời tiếng Việt ạ?
So regarding to DCC for the last couple of years, I think we work with UNDP to start the Youth for Climate program, as we understand the participation of the youth at this level after the NDC is essential. Basically, the youth gonna be a driving force both with consumer and then the implementation side. Yes. So with that in hand, for the last couple of years, we work hand in hand with UNDP to create 2 special reports, and also this year with the 2 reports coming out. And we understand that we will create like a more united voice for the youth. So this could be like the material for us, the policymaker, to take a look at whenever we have we develop a policy. We can take a look at this to make recommendation, and hopefully after this it could help to publish this and make it get more view from the public.
For the business associations, it's like following. We are kind of the link between all our members towards all the institutions, all the policymakers as well. So the German Business Association, for example, is very strongly working together with the European Chamber, which on the other hand is then again participating in a lot of sustainability and also climate-related actions, like for example the World Economic Forum. And there is a lot of exchange. Also, if you look at the White Book, for example, and we have a lot of recommendation on really policy implementation, and now linking it back to the climate youth. It's very important that we build on these connections we have and bring in also practical examples how to do it. And this is, for us, from a business side, quite easy, because we think about daily business. We think about, okay, how does it work daily? And just 2 days ago, I've been in Bindung for exchange with the government there, and one of the key partners we invited was a Vietnam-German university, which is very strong in, for sure, implementing new education programs towards for example, engineering classes and so on. This is exactly what we need here on the ground. We need young, hungry talents who are willing to join on our course as the global companies who have to follow. Actually, it's not just a nice to have attitude anymore to go towards sustainable manufacturing, towards sustainable products. It's a must-have. And having partners on the ground from the government side, from the provinces, from UNDP. And then for sure also from the education institutions is exactly what we are right now implementing, and it leads then down to really simple measurements like internship programs. Yeah, so this is something very, very handy, very easy to implement without like a lot of policy changes. And please, if you have young talents who want to learn how to really be in the business environment, yeah, connect with me, and I'm happy to connect also you then with our members, because this is what is the starting point. It leads then to, okay, talent management, winning talents, and really use all these early touch points with the business towards talent development. This is what we strive for. That's a very successful model in Europe, and we are driving it heavily over the last years also here on the ground. I personally, in my company, we have a lot of young talents who push me basically to go more sustainable. And I try, and I love it, you know. So it's like, and it's not just linked to technical skills. It's also marketing, for example, communication, how to build brands around sustainability away from price or just quality. You know, sustainability should be a leading principle in brands, right? So looking at all the measurements, also financing, it's about sustainable financing. So it goes to all the departments, it goes to all the areas. So please feel welcome really to talk to us with the business associations in the implementation process. We are happy to give practical ideas on how to do it.
Không biết các bạn khán giả còn có câu hỏi gì cho các khách mời và nhóm nghiên cứu không ạ? So do you have any other questions for the guest speakers and also the research teams? Or we can move into the next point.
Đặt một câu hỏi về khán giả online cho nhóm nghiên cứu. Xin hỏi các kết quả nghiên cứu của các bạn rất hay, liệu có cơ hội để làm tài liệu mềm cho các việc điều chỉnh bổ sung vào điều luật?
To you as a background for the policy implementation or for some policy document, I think we can partly invite also DCC people to answer, but also maybe the team can partly answer this. So our just energy transition, we develop some perspective of the youth in contribution of the just energy transition in general, but for the policy making. So related to the technical knowledge, we see that at the moment the youth have a lot of barriers, both knowledge, technical knowledge, and technical skills. So I think that this will be the thing that we will highly appreciate the support, especially from UNDP and from other research and education agencies, to provide better training program so that we can provide better labor force. So I think following the government report or from the report of the Just Energy Transition Group. So when we are well ready in terms of knowledge and skills, so the youth will contribute more, like we can observe in Europe country. And also in order to add and in order to share our experience during the implementation of these activities. So when we start an activity project, we see that in Vietnam we don't see any project in Vietnam working on the perspective of the youth in the just energy transition. So we just can see other countries in the world like Indonesia. So we will see how they do and we try to imitate. But I think in fact, if the study team after my team here, if you want to continue to further build on this report, so you may have more in-depth questions, you may have more in-depth analysis, you may have more approach, more complicated approach to find out some more reliable findings. So with that findings, so it will be clearer and more concrete to be integrated into the policies and other policy framework. So I think this is just the very beginning step. So we just propose that the voice and the perspective of the youth should be integrated into some annual report or JP. But maybe more specific, I would like to invite from the idea from Mr. Chung from DCC Monterey. I would like to share more about the policy development in the last time. During the implementation and development of Vietnam, it's quite difficult for the youth to participate. So they may have some contribution through the broad consultation, but in the coming time there's a lot of change, and the youth are more they have more opportunity to participate. And during the meeting, if you have some information, you can participate, you can communicate with some focal point to share and to communicate your ideas. So so not only wait until the final step, but throughout the process of policy development, you can have your observations and contribute your comments and suggestions. Thank you, Mr. Chung. Thank you very much the discussion of the room for just energy transition, and thank you, Mr. Chung, Mr. Alex, and everyone. So now will be a presentation on the climate change education in Vietnam. So actually on the findings and the recommendation to enhance and improve the effectiveness of the educational program. So first of all, for the Mekong Delta in Vietnam, and basically we'll mention about the observations and the recommendation for high school education. So I would like to invite Ms. Ngọc Mai to share about the content, and don't forget that there will be a games for this. So try to listen and pay attention to some to some of the figures. So Mr. Ngọc, please. Thank you very much for the two MC. Thank you very much for your participation in this launching ceremony today. And we already finished with the presentation of the just energy transition. So we are now fully energized. So we will move to the next part for education. So hopefully our sharing will provide more in-depth knowledge about the roles of the youth of Vietnam. So Ms. Mike, over to you. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ngọc Mai. At the moment, I'm the leader of the policies for the policy working group on the climate educational team. So we would like to share some of our observations and findings from the last 1 year. So in order to do this research, we highly appreciate our joint effort of all our team members. You can see them here. And here, we would like to go into, to introduce a little bit about the context of this. So we have more and more impacts of climate change from the rise in temperature. And these you have a lot of challenges, put a lot of challenges for the youth, and the climate education to improve capacity and knowledge for the youth are very important and critical now. Can you, and especially in this study, we focus a lot on the high school student. So these are the stage where they need to work on not only education activities, but they are the one who already have something in mind to decide what will be the future job. And they will be also a vulnerable group to climate change. That's why we study some impact on the children and youth related to some event, for example, disaster, destroy their school, for example, so that their education is delayed, and some other activities which impact their education. And we also review some policies and programs related to climate change. So this will be the basis, very important basis for the students and the youth in general to learn more about climate and climate change. And at the moment, the high school education. So about the objective and research question, at the moment we have two key research questions. The first one related to the perspective of high school students in Vietnam and their need related to education on climate change. The second one is the challenges and opportunities to meet the needs and expectation of high school students in implementing climate change education in Vietnam. So we have three objectives. The first one, we try to research the situation of integrating climate change education in the high school education training program. Second one, we try also to invest the perspective and the viewpoint of student and teacher on climate change education. And the last one is we assess also the accessibility of the youth to contribute to the process of policy development related to climate change education. And based on that, we will have our proposal. And we do both quantitative and qualitative research. So we do with the sample number from 15 to 18 years of age. And in 2022 and 2023, we already collected a lot of samples from different regions of Vietnam, from different groups of stakeholders. And with the qualitative research, we already have in-depth interview with 20 students and 14 teachers. And we also would like to share some of the findings. and the research result. In order to understand more about this, we try to learn about the needs for climate change education. We review the needs for climate change education, which is high quality of UNESCO, and two special report, youth report, Youth for Climate Change. So some of the key demands for climate change education. So for example, we have education for action-oriented guidance, enhanced capacity and resource for teacher in climate change education. And climate change education should be based on the local context and also indigenous languages, materials, and they should integrate climate change education into some approaches to address complex issues, enhance infrastructure, technologies, and hands-on experience learning, and also ensure equity in accessing climate change education, making school a central to learning space, and strengthen youth voice, providing financial and technical support. And based on that, we hope that to understand more about the perspective of the student about the educational program at the high school based on the 6 criteria. First of all, the teaching curriculum, teaching method, the channel for assessing knowledge and information about climate change, infrastructure, the extracurriculum activities, and the gender, living area, and vulnerable groups. So yeah, I would like to invite my friend to present on the first 5 criteria. So overview about the statistic, we see very interesting that the student in Vietnam, they have already 68% having the climate change education, especially for the area which is very strong, which is the Mekong Delta, 77%. 7.5%, because maybe one of the main reasons is because the Mekong Delta is the most area vulnerable to climate change, and some important part can be disappear with the sea level rise and the climate change impact. That's why they pay a lot more attention and they receive more information from the school and from the local authorities related to climate change. And the 5 subjects they have mainly, we have geography. Geography, I think, may be the most useful topic, and second one is the career experience and local education. So this is the 2 subjects are new and just introduced in 22 and 23, and biologies and a lot of things related to the integrated knowledge and information about climate change. And this also increased the flexibilities and innovations of the teachers and students. And we have quite a lot of sets of textbooks. And because this is one of the things encouraged to be integrated. It's not compulsory to be integrated into the training curriculum. So we, at the moment, the contents of the climate change education in the 2 subjects is not very interesting. So I think the 2 things is the training, the career training, and also the local education. So, however, one of the challenges is that in this education they do not mention about the green job and green career, and many people for the first time they hear about this term. And a larger part of students, they are not satisfied, they do not feel satisfied with the content. And about 1/3 they are not satisfied with the practicalities and the content of the textbook. And we have about 71.8% of the students satisfied with the current method of teaching through a more interactive method, for example, question and answer, discussion, and also videos, and provide and showing video clips, for example, or presentation, and or working on the actual situation and cases. Related to the teaching method, at the moment, 85.6% of the students understand basic concept of climate change, but they are not aware of their own roles, or they do not know how to take some action or what job they should take to address climate change issues. And the two things they would like to experience is learning through real life scenarios and also learning through online and offline games. And we have three most common platforms, which is the internet, social media, schools, and the broadcast, radio, and newspaper. So the still very first one and strongest one is the internet and social media. So most students and everybody now almost have a smartphone. So one of the barriers that are still too many the issue that too many information, so they are confused and they do not know what are the correct information, what are the official information. So and another barrier is that many materials are available only in English, and at the moment there's not yet any hubs or information portal for them in Vietnamese. The top three regions that motivate students in learning about climate change: so personal interest, impact from social media, and impact from the generation and social change. So I think the social channel, the social media is very impactful now. So related to the statistic about the infrastructure, at the moment, about 50%, more than 50% are satisfied with infrastructure. However, they still, especially in the rural and remote area, the infrastructure is not sufficient for the student compared to the more urban area, and very difficult for people to have more experience about and knowledge about climate change. Related to extracurricular activities, so we have more than 95% of the students have at least have some school experience about the extracurricular activities, and they are normally they are very happy with this approach. However, some activities is not very popular, not useful for people who do not have background information of the people who do not have who are just a newbie to climate change. And some teams, some groups, they have some difficulties to, for example, to support with the register and with also our operation. Related to the extracurricular activities, most of the students, they want to have about 75.3% of the students, they want to have more extracurricular activities. And now Mai would like Marcia will share more about the gender analysis and the vulnerable groups. So we also have some assessment related to gender, living areas, and vulnerable groups. So mainly there's not much difference in terms of gender. So this is to show that there's more or less gender equality in accessing to climate change information. So in compare between rural and urban groups, at the moment the urban group, they have more access to climate change education. And after learning, the percentage of students applying their climate change knowledge into action is higher in the urban area. However, interesting, the core student who is now implementing some activities related to climate change and may have some orientation for future job related to climate change is quite the same between the two, urban area and rural area. So we talk about the potential of internet to enable rural students to access to climate change knowledge. However, we still have some challenges for rural students in access to activities. Mainly, the activities is just implemented in big cities. So in the rural area, there's almost or very few activities. And when we consider about the vulnerability, more than 80% of the students in vulnerable groups feel the impacts of climate change. And the vulnerable groups, they have less, not less access to the information and knowledge of climate change. And after accessing to the climate change, education, the student in vulnerable areas, they have more observation to uptake the action, the climate action, and the low income students have the lowest rate of learning about climate change, and this is one thing we need to pay more attention to. Students from migration group notice different in climate. So so that when they move their living area, they will see the migration also help them to increase access to information, so that they have more action, they have more opportunity to act, to take action. And however, in these vulnerable groups, they tend to have less satisfaction rate compared to other groups in terms of income or in terms of jobs. And they say that the information through school and through some groups like the poor people or LGBTs or ethnic minority group is even lower. So these are the quotes of this group talking about the issues they observe. And we also, so from the studying, we also explore about the trend and opportunities and challenges in implementing climate change education in a more active way. The first one is the application of digital transformation. The very big opportunities to increase the integration of technologies in climate change education. For example, the use of the projector and also more open learning resource through internet. And also big opportunities for students to access to more, because through the internet access, climate is not only to provide only through the official or formal education, but it can be accessed anywhere, anytime. However, we have some challenges, for example, the infrastructure for IT and also for capacity to search information of both teachers and students. Some opportunities related to policies and initiatives of the national level. At the moment, policies and the government orientation we know already, and we have also the opportunities from the two new topics from 2002, and we can have more chance to integrate our climate change knowledge and information, so it will be more flexible to change, to introduce new instrument and new information. Even though the NDC of Vietnam or the education climate high school education training program already mentioned about more for future career. However, at the moment, in fact, these do not mention much related to provide more green skill, green job for students, and they do not make use of the international opportunities, and they do not have also do not access to the formal information about climate change related to the proactiveness and the capacity of the teacher. Now the teachers are more proactive in finding more information. However, they still lack of the support to improve the skill for climate change education or teaching, or they still lack of some skill to organize more effective action or activities for students. And there's some opportunities we already find out through the studying. So, for example, the opportunities for students to, especially for those who can have the ability to self-study, and the online studying program also promote the self-learning, which provide more opportunities for learning. However, we still have more challenges. For example, student lack of support from different stakeholders. So that, for example, like I talked before, related to financial resource or some procedure for register and operation. And opportunities, we have some extracurriculum activities or some new topic, new subjects in the training curriculum, the new opportunities, and we also can make use of the landscape of the local areas to be the area for competition or from discussion or platform or dialogue with other stakeholder. And we still lack of some experimental learning, and there's still some challenges for students to participate, and students are a vulnerable group, so they are lacking still of some to participate in some training program, and still lack of support for students to participate in such training. And finally, we talk about the international cooperative effort on programs related to climate change education. So opportunities to access and to learn from pilot program at national level and provincial level. And also, for example, the opportunities to mobilize more grants and support or participate in some program or initiative of the youth, for example, YNET or Youth for Climate Working Group, for example. And at the moment, there's a lot of internship and sponsorship for students. However, still challenges like lack of the linkage between the provider or sponsor of this program, and also the language barrier is also one of the key barrier. So these are the key challenges, and we, based on this, provide some recommendation. Some recommendation we provide for different stakeholders, including for government and ministry related to the enhancement of the communication and training on the green transition and decent job. So we encourage this to be especially to the portal or some channel, so that it will have more accessibility. And for Ministry of Education and Training to enhance some training program, especially the curriculum, extracurriculum activities. And I think the teacher can be some ambassador to provide more information on this. And together they can also promote further in collaboration between MOET and Ministry of Information and Communication to provide more digital transformation activities and learning. And two other recommendation. So they should incorporate climate change in as a mandatory content in subject module of local education and career experience activities. For example, they use a natural-based solution, for example, and make use of the indigenous knowledge. And they should provide some training curriculum for teachers, so that they will have more methodologies, for example, learning through the real-life scenarios for implementation of some community project, for example. And for school and teacher, we should encourage the school to mobilize more resource from different social participation or actors, and also from the parents of the school of the student. And we'll have more sharing about the green climate, for example, for renewable energies or for green jobs. And the school and teachers should also have should be allowed to be support and also to provide advice to students, especially to implement their own project. And they should have some network of teachers to share the knowledge and to especially to promote the teaching on teaching method on climate change. So before, they should have some dialogue of the school, for example, impacts of the plastic waste, before they organize some activities to clean the waste or to collect the plastic waste. And they can have some climate learning hub and some other platform, for example, Coursera. And they should also make use of some knowledge and should make positive change. they should be proactive to participate in network, to share information, and to take more opportunities. NGO, international organization, and private sector should work with the school to provide more investment, infrastructure, and equipment, for example, for the recycle bins, or some equipment, for example, to the poor people, so that they can have more better device for internet access. And UN agencies and other agencies should provide more support for extra curriculum, and also for some incubation activities, for example, for just climate, and maybe hopefully there can be more facilities and fund for the students to do this. UNs and government and also educational agencies should develop more training materials, including also development of material in Vietnamese and in ethnic minority language. And we have some learning hub. We already have, but we should do more communication so that the local people, the local provinces, they are aware about this source. And related to the vulnerable groups, so hopefully the MOIET and NGO private sector provide more scholarship for the poor students to develop their own training and also their livelihood. For example, for the people who live in the solar energy, wind power energy area, they can provide more scholarship for training, for technical training, for engineer training, so that they can contribute back to their own hometown activities. And UN and MOIT will work further with the school to develop more job opportunities and experimental activities, especially for the remote area. So these are some of the recommendations of the working groups. And of course, we still have a lot of more limitations. So hopefully in the future, we will have more in-depth and improvements of these findings. And we hope that we can have more meaningful trainings, and we will have better quality of engineer and climate change expert. So thank you very much, UNDP Vietnam, DCC and other agencies for support to our studies, and thank you for your advice, thank you for your listening, and thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cha and Ms. Mai, for your presentation on the report on climate change education. So now we'll come to the discussion part, 5 minutes. So we would like now to invite the panel for climate change education, Mr. Chung from DCC, Ms. Bùi Việt Hiền, and also the team for the climate change education. You can make questions, you can give questions to all the panelists here. So first of all, I would like to invite Ms. Hiền to have some comments about the report. Over to you, please. Actually, first of all, thank you very much, the two team, both for the just energy transition and the climate change education working group, for your great effort to finalize the reports. So these are one of the things I think. So when we UNDP work on this, especially for education, for climate change education training, I think this is one of the big gaps, and one of the things we started from 2020 when we listen and we hear about the demands to have more learning about climate change. So UNDP and some leading experts about climate change working together to develop the climate change learning hubs. However, all this knowledge which is already included there, but it's not really been translated into the actions. So, and also especially for high school students. So I highly appreciate that you already went to one further step to learn more about the perspective of high school students about the climate change education. And very interesting that you already mentioned your expectation, which is especially related to learning through more experimental and through real life scenarios. And you said that these are very valuable ways of learning. So I think these are the very good sets of report to request for more transition of the way of learning. And second one, when we read this report related to the thing that the role of digital transformation are very strong, and this transformation provide very good opportunities to provide fast connection, fast access to information on climate change. However, there's still challenges here, even though the official information is not much available. So I think this is also one of the responsibilities of DCC or UNDP Monterey to find some other way to introduce and provide more information, more official information through, for example, through the Climate Change Learning Hub. Maybe we need to work more with the universities, with the Ministry of Education and Training, so that to make this information to be more official, to be more accessible for people. I think this is also one of the things when we want to do and improve when we develop the Learning Hub on climate change. So that's from the UNDP. And the last point I very highly appreciate in this report is that this report, we already integrate so many different voices from different regions of Vietnam. It represents the diversity of so many different groups of youth and from different contexts, socio-economic condition, and show that in order to have a very consistent voice, find out some common interest about this, is about the necessity. So not all the time that people in the urban area they have all the challenges, but we see from the report that even the rural youth are also the very strong force, which provide the very important human resource, which can be promoted by the UN agencies and the government agencies to promote in the future, especially to adapt and also to implement the social, the nature-based solutions. Thank you very much for your sharing. I would like to have a question from Ms. Võ Hoài Kiều An. Yeah, she's also from the Youth Policy Working Group. A question for Mr. Chung. Good afternoon. Hello, Mr. Chung. So after listening to the recommendation of the education on climate change, so as a representative of DCC, what do you think about this recommendation? What it can help with your intervention now and in the near future? Thank you very much. Me myself from COP28, we already work with the two reports, and we see a lot of improvement of the study of the two reports now, and I can confirm that all these proposal and recommendation are very important for us to build on that, to continue with the with the study and research. So when we read about climate change, I see very academic, very complex, complicated. So the role of I think with this report, they are more accessible and the reports are more interesting. So the COP report is terrible and too academic. So I think your report is very accessible, or very easy to understand and easy to attack. And I think your report is good for the youth to be used and to further work on. We have another question. Good afternoon, I'm Hải Đăng. So from the questioning about having a question, I would like also to have some comment. I like very much that the people talking a lot about the local education. So talking about local education, what are there inside the subject? Because when we talk about the natural science, we talk more about climate change and environment. So I think even for history and also for culture of the area, I think we can make use. At the moment, if the education is not close to the student, because of the close need, for example, climate change education. I attended like 5 or 6 schools or university. So some people, for example, some students go out and planted 2 or 3 small plants, and they say that it's do something to go against climate change. Do you think it's really some action against climate change? Some other sayings from before, people say that we have the God for the land and the God who manage also the river. So these are so many sayings from that. But I think there should be some data and statistics, especially from the literature, from the Vietnamese literature from like 100 years ago. I think we can make use of this cultural and educational from before until now. And so many other aspects. For example, the cat. For example, we raise the cat as our pet, but they can be eaten by some other people. So why? I think we should have some more close approach, so that it can be taken by so many people, not only students. Thank you very much for your sharing. I like very much your suggestion, so that there's some recommendation related to that. So subjects like the experimental activities or local education should integrate. I think first should suit the local context, and second one, it should use also indigenous knowledge, local knowledge, like you said. Also the cultural materials and substance can be also make use for educational purpose, so that the student can feel it more close to them. Thank you for your contribution. So the question was so interesting, so I would like also to respond. Actually, not the indigenous learning. I think this is a very important. It's the huge natural resource. It's a huge resource of knowledge, because when we have so many different sources of information, we forget about traditional knowledge and information. Even for some traditional knowledge, for example, when they talk that the dragonfly flow low, it will be going to rain. So it shows our experience from the older generation. So I think that the young people now, we need to restore them, and we need to make sure that this knowledge, this indigenous and traditional knowledge, should be treasured and should be promoted. And it helps also to make it more coherent of different generation, and will make us smarter when we learn and when we apply new technologies. So I highly appreciate that young people like you are aware about this and want to do something to contribute to promote the indigenous knowledge. Thank you very much for your sharing and also for your suggestion for our reports. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you now to come back to your seat. Thank you very much for your time to listen to the 2 presentations of the 2 teams. And now it will be a tea break. and we will have 5 minutes to take some refreshment, and we will go to the next, proceed with the next part for the interactive game from UNDP, can be also from the youth, Vietnam Youth for Climate, or from the Hai Bà Trưng, next generation. So tea break is waiting for you, 5 minutes, don't be late.
Triển Liên Hợp Quốc UNDP. Dạo này mình đang tìm hiểu game nha mọi người. Không phải vì tự nhiên mình bị nghiện game, mà là bởi vì có một sáng kiến cực kỳ lý thú mình mới phát hiện ra gần đây, dùng game để lên ý tưởng cứu thế giới nha. Võ Nguyễn Minh Thùy, một bạn Gen Z sinh năm 97 tại Cần Thơ, một nhân vật chính của chúng ta ngày hôm nay, chính là người điều phối dự án Raincraft, một sáng kiến giáo dục môi trường sử dụng game Minecraft. Với những ai chưa biết về Minecraft thì nó là một trò chơi video thế giới mở, nơi bạn có thể khám phá và xây dựng những thế giới ảo theo cách của riêng mình. Trò chơi này có đồ họa đơn giản, sử dụng các khối vuông để tạo nên mọi thứ. Bạn có thể đào, chặt cây, sắp xếp hiện thân ảo của nước, đất, vân vân để xây dựng công trình. Minecraft đưa người chơi vào một thế giới nơi họ có sự tự do tuyệt đối để sáng tạo và phiêu lưu. Chính tính năng mở này giúp dự án Raincraft của Minh Thùy có được một nền tảng dễ gần cho các bạn trẻ. Các bạn có thể tái hiện lại hiện thực và tự thiết kế sáng kiến giảm thiểu tác động của các vấn đề môi trường và biến đổi khí hậu ngay tại nơi họ sống.
Dạ, các chủ đề trong chương trình đợt này thì cũng tương tự như các chủ đề của chương trình đợt thí điểm. Thì các bạn tập trung vào quản lý nước và đô thị thông minh. Cụ thể trong đó thì các bạn đã tìm hiểu các chủ đề như là hệ thống quản lý nước, hệ thống cấp thoát nước, ngập lụt đô thị và tìm các hướng giải quyết cho các vấn đề đó.
Hi, xin chào tất cả các bạn, nhóm mình là SpongeBob đây. Chào mừng các bạn đã đến với dự án của chúng mình.
Hiện tại thì nơi đây vẫn chưa có mái che, cho nên là vào những ngày nắng nóng oi bức thì rất khó để có thể đi bộ ở đây. Ngoài ra thì chúng ta có thể thấy là xung quanh Đại học Cần Thơ vẫn còn thiếu những hệ sinh thái nước sạch. Chính vì vậy mà chúng mình quyết định sẽ xây dựng mô hình lối đi xanh để cải thiện những hạn chế đó. Bây giờ thì mời các bạn theo chân nhóm chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với mô tả thực nghiệm của dự án đã được nhóm chúng mình xây dựng trên Minecraft nhé.
Mà giai đoạn đầu á, các bạn sẽ có một tháng là các workshop vào mỗi cuối tuần thứ bảy, chiều thứ bảy mỗi cuối tuần. Sau đó thì trong các workshop các bạn sẽ có các hoạt động tương tác để học về, thứ nhất là về các kiến thức, các chủ đề như em có nói khi nãy, và cái thứ hai là về thiết kế dự án. Thì về các chủ đề khi nãy thì sẽ chia ra hai loại. Một loại là các bạn sẽ học trên các module Minecraft, thì các bạn có thể sử dụng máy tính hoặc điện thoại và vào các module trong Minecraft Education đó chị. Thì các bạn chơi trên đó xong rồi học kiến thức trên đó. Còn cái loại thứ hai là tụi em có những cái hoạt động tương tác. Chủ đề mà tụi em làm cái hoạt động tương tác là về biến đổi khí hậu, các nguyên nhân và ảnh hưởng của biến đổi khí hậu, với liên hệ giữa cái nguyên nhân và ảnh hưởng của biến đổi khí hậu. Rồi sau đó thì các bạn có thêm 3 workshop là về xây dựng dự án, thì về các kỹ năng như là xác định vấn đề, đưa ra các đề xuất cũng như viết proposal, cách tính kinh phí để chạy dự án. Rồi sau đó thì các bạn có 1 tháng để thiết kế cũng như là thiết kế mô hình trên Minecraft và xây dựng proposal với cái mô hình dự án của các bạn.
Wow, có vẻ rất là bận rộn nhỉ em nhỉ? Mà chị thấy cái phần
này thôi là em chạy bù đầu luôn.
Chạy chắc là Thùy chạy chắc hói luôn đấy nhỉ?
Liên tục luôn.
Mệt lắm đấy.
Còn bảo là chị ơi chương trình ngắn quá, chị làm nhanh đi.
Chị thấy nó khá là kiểu các bạn sẽ phải tập trung cao độ luôn ý trong thời gian 2 tháng đó. Chương trình Raincraft, chữ craft trong Minecraft kết hợp với từ rain, tiếng Anh là mưa, cũng là hiện thân cho nhiều vấn đề nước nhức nhối như ngập lụt, lãng phí nước hay tái sử dụng nước thải. Dự án giáo dục môi trường Raincraft thuộc doanh nghiệp xã hội The Water Agency, một mạng lưới kết nối chuyên gia chuyên giải quyết các vấn đề về nước tại châu Á. Dự án này nhận tài trợ của lãnh sự quán Mỹ với sự hỗ trợ đắc lực của trường Đại học Cần Thơ. Mô hình sáng kiến được đưa ra trong dự án sẽ được quy lại thành một báo cáo và nộp cho trường Đại học Cần Thơ. Các ý tưởng này sau đó có thể được cân nhắc đưa vào quy hoạch khuôn viên trường hoặc rộng hơn ở mức thành phố. Với Thùy, Raincraft giúp định hình lại câu chuyện về biến đổi khí hậu cho thế hệ Gen Z. Vì với em, đôi khi câu chuyện này quá tiêu cực.
Hiện tại trong các dự án môi trường của giới trẻ làm về biến đổi khí hậu thì em có một cảm giác là họ làm cho mọi người có một cái nhìn quá tiêu cực về biến đổi khí hậu. Có nghĩa là theo hướng cực đoan nhiều hơn là tạo cho mọi người một cái tích cực để còn phát triển. Nên là ở trong các dự án của em thì em sẽ khá là hạn chế để đưa những cái suy nghĩ tiêu cực đó đến các bạn. Mặc dù là vẫn biết là sẽ đưa ra những cái hình ảnh thật để cho các bạn biết. Tuy nhiên là sẽ không phải là cái gì cũng đổ lên biến đổi khí hậu.
Nghe Thùy giải thích nội dung dự án dày đặc trong vòng chỉ 2 tháng thì phải công nhận chỉ những ai thực sự đam mê thì mới có thể đi tới cùng.
Các sáng kiến của mấy bạn không bị giới hạn trong cái khuôn viên của Đại học Cần Thơ, nên là khi mà chọn cái khu vực để xây dựng cái mô hình thì các bạn có nhiều nhóm cũng chọn ở một số các khu xung quanh Cần Thơ nữa chị. Thì các bạn cũng nhận ra là các vấn đề của hệ thống thoát nước hiện tại ở trên các con đường nè. Em nhớ có một nhóm là các bạn đã đi quay ở ngoài một cái con đường về cái hệ thống thoát nước, xong rồi nhóm đó thì làm cái sáng kiến của các bạn là tập trung vào thiết kế lại hệ thống thoát nước của thành phố để làm sao để vừa có thể lọc rác được, vừa có thể hạn chế được cái việc mà nước tràn ngược lên đường vào mỗi cái mùa mưa cũng như là mỗi mùa nước nổi á chị.
Hello, mình là Sen. Mến chào các bạn đang lắng nghe tập mới nhất của podcast Hậu duệ hai bà trưng của chương trình phát triển Liên Hợp Quốc UNDP. Dạo này mình đang tìm hiểu game nha mọi người. Không phải vì tự nhiên mình bị nghiện game, mà là bởi vì có một sáng kiến cực kỳ lý thú mình mới phát hiện ra gần đây, dùng game để lên ý tưởng cứu thế giới nha. Võ Nguyễn Minh Thùy, một bạn Gen Z sinh năm 97 tại Cần Thơ, một nhân vật chính của chúng ta ngày hôm nay, chính là người điều phối dự án Raincraft, một sáng kiến giáo dục môi trường sử dụng game Minecraft. Với những ai chưa biết về Minecraft thì nó là một trò chơi video thế giới mở, nơi bạn có thể khám phá và xây dựng những thế giới ảo theo cách của riêng mình. Trò chơi này có đồ họa đơn giản, sử dụng các khối vuông để tạo nên mọi thứ. Bạn có thể đào, chặt cây, sắp xếp hiện thân ảo của nước, đất, vân vân để xây dựng công trình. Minecraft đưa người chơi vào một thế giới nơi họ có sự tự do tuyệt đối để sáng tạo và phiêu lưu. Chính tính năng mở này giúp dự án Raincraft của Minh Thùy có được một nền tảng dễ gần cho các bạn trẻ. Các bạn có thể tái hiện lại hiện thực và tự thiết kế sáng kiến giảm thiểu tác động của các vấn đề môi trường và biến đổi khí hậu ngay tại nơi họ sống.
Dạ, các chủ đề trong chương trình đợt này thì cũng tương tự như các chủ đề của chương trình đợt thí điểm. Thì các bạn tập trung vào quản lý nước và đô thị thông minh. Cụ thể trong đó thì các bạn đã tìm hiểu các chủ đề như là hệ thống quản lý nước, hệ thống cấp thoát nước, ngập lụt đô thị và tìm các hướng giải quyết cho các vấn đề đó.
Hi, xin chào tất cả các bạn, nhóm mình là SpongeBob đây. Chào mừng các bạn đã đến với dự án của chúng mình.
Hiện tại thì nơi đây vẫn chưa có mái che, cho nên là vào những ngày nắng nóng oi bức thì rất khó để có thể đi bộ ở đây. Ngoài ra thì chúng ta có thể thấy là xung quanh Đại học Cần Thơ vẫn còn thiếu những hệ sinh thái nước sạch. Chính vì vậy mà chúng mình quyết định sẽ xây dựng mô hình lối đi xanh để cải thiện những hạn chế đó. Còn bây giờ thì mời các bạn theo chân nhóm chúng mình, chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với mô tả thực nghiệm của dự án đã được nhóm chúng mình xây dựng trên Minecraft nhé.
Mà giai đoạn đầu các bạn sẽ có một tháng là các workshop vào mỗi cuối tuần thứ 7 chiều thứ Bảy mỗi cuối tuần. Sau đó thì trong các workshop các bạn sẽ có các hoạt động tương tác để học về, thứ nhất là về các kiến thức, các chủ đề như em có nói khi nãy, và cái thứ hai là về thiết kế dự án. Thì về các chủ đề khi nãy thì sẽ chia ra hai loại. Một loại là các bạn sẽ học trên các module Minecraft, thì các bạn có thể sử dụng máy tính hoặc điện thoại và vào các module trong Minecraft Education đó chị. Thì các bạn chơi trên đó xong rồi học kiến thức trên đó. Còn cái loại thứ hai là tụi em có những cái hoạt động tương tác. Chủ đề mà tụi em làm cái hoạt động tương tác là về biến đổi khí hậu, các nguyên nhân và ảnh hưởng của biến đổi khí hậu, với liên hệ giữa cái nguyên nhân và ảnh hưởng của biến đổi khí hậu. Rồi sau đó thì các bạn có thêm 3 workshop là về xây dựng dự án, thì về các kỹ năng như là xác định vấn đề, đưa ra các đề xuất cũng như viết proposal, cách tính kinh phí để chạy dự án. Rồi sau đó thì các bạn có 1 tháng để thiết kế cũng như là thiết kế mô hình trên Minecraft và xây dựng proposal với cái mô hình dự án của các bạn.
Wow, có vẻ rất là bận rộn nhỉ em nhỉ? Mà chị thấy cái phần
này thôi là em chạy bù đầu luôn.
Chạy chắc là Thủy chạy chắc hói luôn đấy nhỉ?
Liên tục
mệt lắm đấy.
Còn bảo là chị ơi chương trình ngắn quá, chị làm nhanh đi.
Chị thấy nó khá là kiểu các bạn sẽ phải tập trung cao độ luôn ý trong thời gian 2 tháng đó.
Chương trình Raincraft, chữ craft trong Minecraft kết hợp với từ rain, tiếng Anh là mưa, cũng là hiện thân cho nhiều vấn đề nước nhức nhối như ngập lụt, lãng phí nước hay tái sử dụng nước thải. Dự án giáo dục môi trường Raincraft thuộc doanh nghiệp xã hội The Water Agency, một mạng lưới kết nối chuyên gia chuyên giải quyết các vấn đề về nước tại châu Á. Dự án này nhận tài trợ của lãnh sự quán Mỹ với sự hỗ trợ đắc lực của trường Đại học Cần Thơ. Mô hình sáng kiến được đưa ra trong dự án sẽ được quy lại thành một báo cáo và nộp cho trường Đại học Cần Thơ. Các ý tưởng này sau đó có thể được cân nhắc đưa vào quy hoạch khuôn viên trường hoặc rộng hơn ở mức thành phố. Với Thùy, Raincraft giúp định hình lại câu chuyện về biến đổi khí hậu cho thế hệ Gen Z. Vì với em, đôi khi câu chuyện này quá tiêu cực.
Hiện tại trong các dự án môi trường của giới trẻ làm về biến đổi khí hậu thì em có một cảm giác là họ làm cho mọi người có một cái nhìn quá tiêu cực về biến đổi khí hậu. Có nghĩa là theo hướng cực đoan nhiều hơn là tạo cho mọi người một cái tích cực để còn phát triển. Nên là ở trong các dự án của em thì em sẽ khá là hạn chế để đưa những cái suy nghĩ tiêu cực đó đến các bạn. Mặc dù là vẫn biết là sẽ đưa ra những cái hình ảnh thật để cho các bạn biết. Tuy nhiên là sẽ không phải là cái gì cũng đổ lên biến đổi khí hậu.
Nghe Thùy giải thích nội dung dự án dày đặc trong vòng chỉ 2 tháng thì phải công nhận chỉ những ai thực sự đam mê thì mới có thể đi tới cùng.
Các sáng kiến của mấy bạn không bị giới hạn trong cái khuôn viên của Đại học Cần Thơ, nên là khi mà chọn cái khu vực để xây dựng cái mô hình thì các bạn có nhiều nhóm cũng chọn ở một số các khu xung quanh Cần Thơ nữa chị. Thì các bạn cũng nhận ra là các vấn đề của hệ thống thoát nước hiện tại ở trên các con đường nè. Em nhớ có một nhóm là các bạn đã đi quay ở ngoài một cái con đường về cái hệ thống thoát nước, xong rồi nhóm đó thì làm cái sáng kiến của mấy bạn là tập trung vào thiết kế lại hệ thống thoát nước của thành phố để làm sao để vừa có thể lọc rác được, vừa có thể hạn chế được cái việc mà nước tràn ngược lên đường vào mỗi cái mùa mưa cũng như là mỗi mùa nước nổi á chị.
Hello, mình là Sen. Mến chào các bạn đang lắng nghe tập mới nhất của podcast Hậu duệ hai bài chương của chương trình phát triển Liên Hợp Quốc UNDP. Dạo này mình đang tìm hiểu game nha mọi người. Không phải vì tự nhiên mình bị nghiện game, mà là bởi vì có một sáng kiến cực kỳ lý thú mình mới phát hiện ra gần đây, dùng game để lên ý tưởng cứu thế giới nha. Võ Nguyễn Minh Thùy, một bạn Gen Z sinh năm 97 tại Cần Thơ, một nhân vật chính của chúng ta ngày hôm nay, chính là người điều phối dự án Raincraft, một sáng kiến giáo dục môi trường sử dụng game Minecraft. Với những ai chưa biết về Minecraft thì nó là một trò chơi video thế giới mở, nơi bạn có thể khám phá và xây dựng những thế giới ảo theo cách của riêng mình.
Cái huy hiệu cài và một cái móc khóa dành cho
a button for use and also some smaller gifts. So yeah, if you want to have these gifts, people with the most correct answers will receive the very interesting thing. You can quickly join this quiz through your smartphone or through your laptop. And we have these also the podcasts, the next generation of Ypwg'S. So a lot of present for you today. Be quick. And you can have two ways. You can scan the QR code or you can go to the quiz.com and you type 136071. So I see only 18 people here. A lot of people still here. And I think, please try your best. I know that you paid a lot of attention. So if you don't have the Wi-Fi password, so here's our passcode. You can use a QR code here, or you can use the passcode sustainability sustainability should be capitalized for the source and also some exclamation point at the end. So already 30 people participate in this quiz. So when we already have 13 participants, we will close the quiz and will. So you already joined. Any of you still have some difficulties to join this quiz? No. So people who are now online, watching this through online or live stream, you can also participate. You can use the password. 30 minutes we will start. Now we should start now. First question. A difficult question. How many percent of the informant show the interest in the just transition or want to contribute to the just energy transition? So you have to push or to pull the bar. Yeah. So the people with the most correct answer will be the winner. So 1960, 55%. More than half of the young people want to contribute to the jet energy transition in Vietnam. 80%, 83% is the official channels of the 83% is the main source that respondent use to learn more about GET, followed by which 47, 33, or 30%. You have to follow. You have to push or to pull this bar. So yeah, move the bar. So yeah, the answer is the newspaper, social network, and social organizations and others. So we can see here, wow, three first people, the three first top one. So 83% and 17% of respondents perceive. So you have to select two things here. And marginalized group in the energy transition. So low-income individuals or people with disabilities or youth or women. So these are also very interesting one, very surprising one. So low-income people are vulnerable group or disadvantaged, and also you view themselves as the one who are not marginalized one. So we see big changes here. So where are the two biggest barriers of the youth to the installations of the roof solar power? So high cost, lack of information, so not so many people use solar power, and lack of information, lack of knowledge. So what are the key most reason or barriers? So you can see here, the two biggest one is lack of decision power and the high cost of installation. Next one. Oh. We see now the change. COVID is top one. Next. How many more than how many respondents answer interested or very interested in solar transition initiative in Ho Chi Minh City? More than 150 people who are young people responded to this. 50%. So who get the right answer for this? Not so many. Another change. How many percentage of the respondents show their concern about the displacement and compensation cost when participating in green energy projects? So these are one of the our survey in Ninh Thuận on wind power. 44% respondents have expressed their concern about the cost for installation and for displacement. So we have top 3 already. So half of the time left for you to join a place in top 3. So respondents express confidence in their ability. What kind of abilities? We have 2 types. So the confident, the most confident abilities, and the second one, the less confident one. So the soft skill are most the skill which you are most confident, and technical capacity and skills are the thing they are least confident. So top 3 big change now. So the next question related to the access to the climate change education in school. What is the range? So what are the range? Oh, a lot of different range. 50 to 58, 60 to 68, 70 to 78, 80 to 88. Wow, the question is from 60 to 68 percent is the people who have the access to climate change education. So yeah, the competition is very hot now. So the percentage of students in the vulnerable group responding that they have learned about climate change. What is the rate of the student in the vulnerable groups responding that they have learned about climate change? So the people from the climate change education, can you answer this question? 65.5%. Oh, we have now top 10. So what are the 3 most popular channel of information that students receive information and knowledge about climate change? So internet, social media, newspaper, and schools. So yeah, quite similar answers and findings by the 2 team for just transition and for climate change education. 3 subjects with highest 3 top subjects that most students recognize the climate change content integrated in. Oh, I think too clear. So you talk about local education. What is your correct answer? Do you have the right answer? So yeah, local education. You can see here, we have these people have the correct answer. And the final question, and this will double point. So the topper will receive the rewards. 3 things which students want to improve in the current curriculum regarding climate change education. So the local context content and also subjects that are related to climate change, textbook and classroom duration. So final answers. 3 things. So who's the top 3? So top 1, top 3 first. Mr. Tiêu, Phun Thong Minh, and yay, who is yay? So top 3, please proceed to the stage to receive your rewards. So yeah, people. So we still have a 6 reward for people who are in top 9. We still have so another one from top 3. Who is the last person? Who is J? Who is still? So Mr. Phun Thong Minh are members of climate change. Oh, they are all the 3 persons from the climate change education. So top 9. Con vịt. Miss MBH. PM Book Guy, Papa Data, and Ginkgo. Are you there? Miss Ginkgo and Mel, please proceed to the stage. We have here only 7 people. Who is the missing? Congratulations, our top 9. Thank you. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you, the 2 horses, so cute. Thank you. How do you feel after the quiz? And after this, we will have also the present for everyone. So please stay with us. And now will be the last part of our program today. So we will review the journey of the Vietnam Youth for Climate from 2000 until now. And we will now launch our recruitment process for the new members of Vietnam Youth for Climate. So Ms. Diệu Linh, you are the facilitator and coordinator from the beginning until now. So can you share some memories and experience with the Vietnam Youth for Climate? Xin chào. Hello, I'm Diệu Linh. I am starting with Vietnam Youth for Climate right from the beginning. But I do not work with coordination, but mainly for communication. So the fan page, I'm the founder of it. I'm the one who delivered it. So from 0 like until now 3,000, 4,000. It's a very nice experience. So now it's nearly 10,000 likes. And right from the beginning, when we prepare the very first report, we only have 20 youth in the right camp in Quy Nhơn. So today we have so many youth among us, and they are very energetic, very enthusiastic. I'm very happy because everything is developing toward our expectation. So thank you very much for your energy, and we hope that this will be sustained for so many years later. So first, at least we have to keep it for until the end of the roadmap for 2025. And you hopefully will be the one who continue to write the next roadmap to 2030. So the fourth so you can see here 20 people, 20 faces, the first one to develop the report 2020. So yeah, I think this is the first generation. And second one, right after the YNET, and the right cam we have a YNET, and YNET now is a very big network of youth, very strong in Vietnam, and they have a lot of activities both in Vietnam and international. And as one of the person together with Miss Việt Hiền developed this Youth for Climate, we are very proud. And the next one, Miss Hoàng Ngọc Xuân Mai, she's the author of the very first report and sending this to the president of COP26. This is a very meaningful moment for the people who do who are the founders of the Youth for Climate. And in the roadmap from 21 to 25, Youth for Climate, we have a competition, and we receive a lot of very interesting initiative and idea, and it's very diversified. So yeah, we are very happy to be able to organize this, but yeah, today is a little bit lack of time, so I cannot find some photo for that. And then we develop a learning hub for climate change. So this is a very first learning hub for youth. Yeah, I think this is a really first learning hub. So all the information related to climate change and all the sharing from everyone from this learning hub and to this learning hub is. So when we develop this learning hub, so me and Hoàng Ngọc Xuân Mai, we work with and we collaborate with so many youth all over the countries and also our abroad to develop the content of this learning hub. And hopefully Gen 3, Gen 4 can continue to promote the contents of learning hub and communicate it to all the teachers, all the schools. So all the information from this learning hub, because we work closely with different organizations and experts, especially on the climate policies, so you can use it as some formal and reliable information source. And for the second phase, we would like to invite Ha, to share about the second generation of Youth for Climate. Thank you, Miss Linh. Thank you, everyone. Can you move to the next slide? So me and Dương, we are the representative for Gen 2, like Miss Ngọc said. So we work together and we organize together, especially the activities of the Youth for Policy Working Group. So we have a lot of different events. For example, the people who visit the Green UN House, so that we can have some different dialogues with representatives from the government, from the international organization. And we have a lot of events for the youth outside also. And also we, apart from that activities, we very important, which is very impressive for us, is that 50 members of the Youth for Climate are close friends together, and we have bonding activities, and we have so many different activities, and we can invite Dương to share more about these activities. Me, I'm the head of the communication team of this policy Youth for Climate Policy Working Group. So we have some competition, and we organize with the WICO and Vietnam Youth for Climate of UNDP to organize a competition on the climate change poster, so that we developed a lot of our communication products to support the policy group. So we have a lot of activities. For example, we do some like cooking activities, some outside activities, some so it creates an atmosphere of communities, and we feel the energies from the youth, and we want to contribute our effort to the Youth for Climate initiative. So I'm very happy. Partly because I don't have to stay overnight to work. So more important, when we see the reports, the effort, results, the findings, the proposal. So I think, especially with the launching of all these results. So Miss Ha and me myself. So that's our effort, our team member for more than 1 year. So so I think this is a joint effort of everyone here in the Vietnam Youth Climate. Thank you very much for that, and we can be proud of this. I'm also proud of you very much. And after this, we will also launch our call for application for the Vietnam Youth for Policy Working Group, and we hope that we can also maintain and sustain a community of proud people like this, and we hope that we can share these opportunities to develop ourselves. So apart from the climate change knowledge and activities, so hopefully we will continue to receive your support and your attention. So next slide, please. So you can see the application here. So opportunities for you who want to be part of our growing community. So here you can see the job description and different departments, different sections. If you have any questions or any advice to fill the forms, you can ask us now. Thank you so much, and we will have more advice, more explanation in the coming time, in the coming days. So follow our fan page, Vietnam Youth for Climate. And the QR code, you can have it here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dương. Thank you, Ha. Thank you, Vietnam Youth for Climate. Thank you, the Policy Working Group. So it's already the end of our ceremony. On the launching of the reports, and hopefully we will see each other again. As a team member in 2024 of the Youth for Policy Working Group, or maybe some of the future audience and followers. So thank you very much, everyone, for participation in this program today. Thank you so much, and see you again in the next event.